Jayashree ji, can you please on the video? Hari Om all. Asato mas Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwaraha Guru Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Akhandamandalakaram Vyaptam Yena Characharam Tattvadam Darshitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Narayana Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. With the blessings of Guruji, let us take up the talk 30th of Tattvabodha, which is about the subtle body, how it is and what it is. We actually have, it is a continuation of last video, wherein subtle body, what is subtle body is already discussed there. And then what is the experience of felt by either the gross body or the subtle body. Let us just have it with question and answers. So, Sudhaji, can you just brief about what subtle body is?
And that would refer to talk 29.
Yeah.
Like Prabhuji said, subtle body is also like the gross body in the sense that it is made up of the same 5 elements: earth, fire, water, wind, and space. But the difference is that the way the combination takes place is that they combine until they become very gross in order to get the gross body. But it stops way ahead in order to form the subtle body. So it is the same 5 elements that form the subtle body also. And the other thing is, the subtle body also has all the 5 sense organs that, like the gross body. No, it has 5 organs. It controls the 5 organs. And it also has a mind, which is why
it's better that you don't say that it has a mind, because we will be as an identity itself. So
the same mind,
it takes the control of all this. It is combination of all this, can be so told.
No, because what Prabhuji was saying, like when you go into the dream state and your gross body becomes dormant, then what comes into action is your subtle body. And there the subtle body has all the sense organs. It has all the organs of the body, because you have limbs over there also. And then you also are making decisions. So you have an intellect and a mind. So it is just the same mind that becomes more subtle to help us in the dream state.
Okay, here I think there needs a subtle difference is there. That means, say that the subtle body doesn't contain all this. The gross body, it has all these organs, all those. But at the back of it, what is it that is energizing each of them is what is subtle body. And behind that is the self. Okay, because if we think that is itself, if at all we say it has 5 organs, the mind, the intellect, everything, that itself will become a body by itself. You are separating and you giving the picture of it containing all these, and that's another body. This gross body is something and subtle body is something. So instead of that,
actually it is different, no, Kantiji, because when you go to sleep and you are in the dream state, you are running, you're walking, and you are experiencing fear, and you're making decisions.
So do you mean to say that the eyes are there, the ears are there for a subtle body?
Yeah.
Not physically present.
Not physical. That is what I'm saying.
No. What you told was, maybe intention was correct, but what we could understand from your saying is that It has the 5 organs, it has the organs of actions, all those.
Yeah. It
So that
actually
means
has them, but they're in the subtle form because it is a subtle body. The organs that we have in the subtle body are also in the subtle form, which is why you are able to, in the dream state, experience everything like you experience in the waking world.
maybe what you can say is it is an experiencer, you can say. That's all. Because you cannot give these attributes. That is what I feel. Because uh, uh, this can be sensed, that's all, but it doesn't have these organs, or physically it is not present, right? Maybe the subtle
It's
form,
not
as you're saying.
physically present. Subtle body definitely is not physically
Hmm.
present, but I think it has the sense organs and the organs of action. It also, the mind is also working with the subtle body, the intellect is also working with the subtle body, but it is not the mind in the waking state. It is not the intellect in the waking state, because the decisions that we make in that dream state, they're different. If you have noticed, when you wake up, you think that in the real world I would have never reacted the way I reacted in my dream. Why did I get such a dream? Lots of times, I don't know if you felt it, but when I think, recall a dream, I always think why I made such a decision. Why I don't think I would have reacted like that in the waking state. So I feel there is a mind and intellect also, but maybe it is not the mind that we use when we are with the gross body. That is what I feel when I think about it.
Yes, maybe uh, uh, you may also be right. And what I think is, see, ನಾನು ನಾನೆಂಬುದು ನಾನಲ್ಲ, ಈ ದೇಹ ಮನ ಬುದ್ಧಿ ನಾನಲ್ಲ. That means to say that we don't, we are not, I am not the mind, I am not the body, all these are imaginary illusion. This is Maya, I am in Maya. When you consider that, from that perspective I'm speaking. So all these days we have taken up in a different way, but this part, when we gross, the subtle and the causal body comes in, it is a different discussion. So here we will have to not physically take. That means, though you're telling it sukshma sharira, means in not in the physical presence in the form, but
Yeah.
still, only thing is, our mind can perceive in that way. That is what I can say, because this physical body is associated with the mind. That is nothing but the ego. So this is how I am perceiving, is what I understand. So
What you're
maybe
saying, that there is no subtle body, is that what you're saying?
Finally, this body is not there, this mind is not there. This is
No,
just
but in
for
when
understanding level. Yes, even
there's
after
a
the death, also, what happens is, 1 minute. Bharatish ji only had called. He said he's not going to attend because he's still in the workplace, it seems. It may be late, it seems. Hmm. So, yes, for the understanding purpose, even the koshas that come, panchakoshas that come, see, layers we talk about. So
mm,
that is understanding at the physical level only, the way we can understand. Yes, what a subtle body, why has this come? For our understanding itself. So, as you say and as you perceive, it is that the action, or the functions of all these organs, the organs of actions, that is existent in the Sukshma Sharira. So that is how our body will not be moving, but still I can think so much, and it keeps working. Or say, the example is given, the pain. Do you feel the pain in the sleep?
because physical body is dormant.
Huh. The pain is
Mm,
in the physical body,
mm,
gross body,
mm,
but that is not, that is experienced by the subtle body
mm,
in the waking state.
mm.
So what is dream state? What happens in the dream state? And I take up a different body. That's each moment we take up different bodies, what Guruji says. So the previous body dies, the next moment there's a new body. So all these concepts sometimes give clarity, sometimes can create confusion, and sometimes we will have to go in depth and settle at what is nitya anitya. So that gives us the essence of what this Advaita Vedanta can give us. Because going in depth with the knowledge is one thing, applying things for our benefit of the practical life is one thing. So basically, what confusion is created, we can address that. Because yes, as you said, when we are sleeping, we get dream. But what happens when we don't have dream? We experience as we are in the waking state, in our dream state. But what happens in the dreamless sleep, deep sleep? How will the mind be? How will the body be? How will the subtle body be?
Everything is withdrawn into itself in deep sleep,
Ah,
including
ah.
consciousness. Everything is withdrawn, and there only the I, the self, is awake.
What is consciousness?
The consciousness is what runs, what powers everything.
What is self?
Self exists as consciousness.
Both are one and the same?
Both are one in the same at the point of realization. But as long as you are living as a jivatma, this consciousness, which is like the basis, it powers your gross body, it powers your subtle body, it powers everything, all your samskaras, everything is the causal body, everything is powered by consciousness. So actually, when you are in deep sleep, nothing is active. Gross body, subtle body, and this consciousness, everything is withdrawn. They go into the dormant state, and just there's an I-ness over them. That is why we all love deep sleep.
Yes. So we can call consciousness and self as one and the same.
At the point of realization, now you don't know what is self, you don't know what is consciousness, but
Both we don't know. So both can be equated, right?
both can be equated at the point of realization.
Yes, you can assume that both are one and the same, because self is a name given by one thought of people. Consciousness is given by one set of people.
People, yes,
So it can be.
and all say
Huh.
consciousness. Meher Baba also uses the word consciousness a lot.
Hmm.
And then Advaita uses, Vedanta uses self. Atma, Paramatma.
Atma, Paramatma, Atma.
Jiva.
Self is basically used by Ramana Maharshi. I, self. So it depends on the schools which we follow. So all those are equivalent terms. That's all.
Yeah. Just minor differences, but they all refer more or less to this.
Yes. But finally, self-realization is understanding who I am. Finally. So Jivatma, Paramatma has Ekatva has to happen. So we went in depth with maybe Bhartiji. This is maybe our 30th talk, Bhartiji. So it is a little advanced, but we will have one revision of whatever has happened all this while, so that you can catch up with our next, or the maybe in a month or so that some arrangement will be done, so that you can get the discussion of whatever has been done until now, and then we can go forward.
Okay, madam. Okay.
So, Jai Shri Ji, why is subtle body formed?
Subtle body is formed due to our good karma done earlier, madam, in our who, in our last birth, I think.
Hmm.
Last birth.
Hmm.
It depends mainly on the karmas we do.
Hmm.
Mm. Subtle body is only experience, but physical or gross body is only an instrument. It is only a vehicle, and subtle body is it.
Correct, correct. So what is done, Bharti ji, is that when the talk is sent in the group, everybody writes the points or whatever is needed. That will be written in a book or a sheet somewhere, so that we can have the reference while discussing, or whatever doubts that can also be mentioned there, so that discussion can happen with the doubts also.
Okay.
So basically, we are at a point wherein this body is categorized into three bodies. That is the gross body, the subtle body, and the causal body. So what is it that is about gross body is the physical body. Subtle body is what we are discussing now. Okay. What happens, Jaishri ji, you can only answer. What happens when a pin is pricked?
The subtle body experiences the pain, but not the physical body. But we address it as I am experiencing the pain, I am experiencing this thing, physical pain, but it is not so. It is the subtle body which is experiencing. The physical body is only an instrument.
Hmm. Hmm. Okay. Okay, the same question you can answer with the subtle body angle, Sudhaji. What happens to pain in deep sleep? Almost we discussed that in a different way, but here you can tell it with reference to pain.
The same thing, because the subtle body is the experiencer and gross body is the instrument. So when you go into deep sleep, everything goes into dormancy, both your gross body as well as the subtle body. Which is why when you have a severe headache and you switch off the light and go and lie down and you go to sleep, after some time in the deep sleep, you don't feel the headache anymore. Because all have gone into dormancy and the pain is no longer experienced.
Jaishri ji, are you the subtle body?
We are made up of subtle and physical body, both one.
From the Advaitic, the main concept of what Advaita says, are you the subtle body?
Yes, ma'am.
Who are you?
All. Oh, that is the Atma only.
Atma. So, are you the subtle body?
Even though we can't equate ourselves to Atma, because Atma is same in all of us, that I we can relate to self. That is
Which I?
the capital I.
What is small I?
Ego.
Ego.
That is the physical ego.
Ego. So, are you the subtle body?
No. No, madam.
So, what is it that we usually get confused with?
We get confused with capital I only. Self and capital I we think it is same, but it is not so.
Self and small I, ego I.
Small I, yeah, sorry, ego.
So, subtle body, gross body, we know. That is Sukshma Sharira is subtle body. This gross body is our physical body.
Physical.
So, but actually what you're saying is correct. We have still not realized. We don't know what self is. That's why we can say that I am subtle body. That is
Subtle
perfectly
body,
correct.
yes.
But that's why I asked from the Vedantic perspective, from the Advaitic perspective, what is, are you the subtle body? Because we have still not self-realized.
Yes,
We don't know
yes.
what it is. We are in the process of understanding
Process.
things and applying it to ourselves. So that is why we are still at this level, and we are getting to know so much. We are blessed enough to sit at home and then understand what has to be done or what has to be learned and how to apply it. Because Guruji has recorded it and it has been given to all of us, and we are utilizing that time with his blessing. So at least that we are blessed with and graced, so that we can get the knowledge being at home. And
Yes, ma'am.
Self is confused with subtle body. So as you got confused, that literally has that is what has been told. Like, who am I comes into picture. What is that I with this self or the subtle body? Am I the subtle body? Am I the gross body? Am I the self? Self or capital I. So who am I? Actually, I can say that because I'm identifying myself with the body and the mind, what I can say is I am the ego, I am whatever I am transacting in the world, I am that. But actually, with the perspective of Advaita Vedanta, this body doesn't exist. Nanu nanembudu nanalla. That means small I is not capital I. Nanu and ino. So small I is what we identify always, but I am not that. Nanu nanembudu nanalla. ಈ ದೇಹ ನಾನಲ್ಲ, ಮನಸ್ಸು ನಾನಲ್ಲ, ಬುದ್ಧಿ ನಾನಲ್ಲ, ಸಚ್ಚಿದಾನಂದ ಆತ್ಮ ಶಿವ. ನಾನು ನಾನೇ, ಶಿವ ನಾನು ನಾನೇ. ಶಿವೋ ಅಹಂ, ಶಿವೋ ಅಹಂ, ಶಿವೋ ಅಹಂ. ನಾನೇ ಶಿವ ಅನ್ನೋದು ನಮಗೆ ವಿ ಡೋಂಟ್ ರಿಯಲೈಸ್ ದಟ್.
What is nan ಎಂಬುದು ಕಾರ್ತಿಕ್ಜಿ in Kannada?
ನಾನು, there are two I's, basically, small I and capital I. We always identify ourselves with small I. So basically what we are, who we are, is the capital I, the self. So small I is not the capital I. Nanu nanembudu nanalla means small I is not capital I.
So Kannada, is this a meaning for nan ಎಂಬುದು?
Nanu embudu.
ಎಂಬುದು means?
Embudu means ಅಂತನೆ. Means, M-E-A-N-S. I means.
Oh, okay. ನಾನು ನಾನೆಂಬುದು ನಾನಲ್ಲ.
So I am not I. Small I is not capital I.
Small I. But
okay. So here that first phrase is really important in understanding. We can understand I am not the mind, I am not the body. But here, nanembudu nanalla. The capital I is what I am, but I am not the small I, is what that first phrase says. That is very important. At least at the conceptual level, we'll have to understand that. So we will always transact in the world with the ego consciousness. I am doing this, I am speaking, I am answering. Oh, if I don't answer, the others will feel bad. Nothing of that sort. When will that affect me? When will I start to feel all those emotions? Only when I'm identifying myself with the ego, the small I. So when I identify myself with the capital I, the self, what happens is I am destined to make mistake. I am destined to tell in this way. Nothing is in my control. So I am working from the self. I'm working from the capital I. So when that happens, all these emotions that are attached to each thought, that will be removed. So maybe if at all I am hesitant to speak, I don't know anything, how can I tell in front of so many people? What can I do? Will I be able to tell it out better, or will I be a fool? All these things will come natural and normal. But here in this platform especially, it is that you should remove all those and come here. And we will be learning how to feel comfortable anywhere and everywhere. Be a conflict, one big jagla that is happening, some difference of opinion that is happening at home or on street or in the workplace, still I am peaceful and calm. Whatever work that I have to do at that moment, that will be done by me. So that is the way we can understand and apply to our life by learning all these aspects of Advaita Vedanta. How to be a witness to any situation.
That means we should surrender ourselves to
complete surrendering. Surrendering, what is surrendering according to you?
Leave everything to his feet. That is God.
Say, I have maybe I am very hurt some 5 years ago. I feel very bad about that situation. So what will you do now? How can you surrender for that?
You have to forget it.
Won't your emotions, your pain, all those come into picture?
Definitely.
Then
They'll
what is
come
surrendering there?
Surrendering, when things are destined to happen, it will happen. Nothing is in our hands. So that feeling we should get into our mind, and as far as possible, we should come in terms with the situations and bad emotions.
So forgetting the past, to say it is easy. Can we forget?
We should, madam. We should try to forget.
No, by force it cannot happen. No, it will still come up in a very greater intensity. ಮರಿಬೇಕು ಒಂದಷ್ಟು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಮೇಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಅದು ಅದೇ ಬರ್ತಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ?
No, but like you said, Kantiji, if you are accepting everything with an attitude of surrender, like, it is meant to happen, it happened. You can't say this person is the cause or that situation is the cause. Superficially, they may seem to be the causes. But if you know that, everything is happening according to the divine will, then some hurt will be there because we are having the knowledge, but there's always a gap between knowledge and practice. So little the mind will feel the pain and feel the sadness, but you won't react like other people. Like, you won't react in anger, you won't react in spite. Something will stop you, and that something will be this understanding that it meant to happen, it happened. Yes, this person may seem to be the cause, but no one is really the cause. I'm supposed to go through this experience, and that little I won't say you can forget, but you won't be bitter about what happened. That's what I think.
Yes, correct. So that means to say, the emotion attached to the experience or the circumstance can be dropped. You cannot forget the situation or the circumstance that has happened. The bitterness attached to that experience can be dropped by the understanding of Vedanta. So when we know that it has to happen to us, as you said, Jayshriji, it has to happen, we will have to accept. That is one form of surrendering, of course. But have we left our bitterness about that particular incident? This is what is being taught by these talks. And one more main thing that we'll have to understand is, suffering is given to us to transform us, to change us, to modify us. Suffering, nange yakappa bantu kashta is not the thing. Kashta bantu hege edarisbeku. I have got such a big difficulty. What is the strength that I can gain in facing that? So, see, past suffering is something we will have that emotional connect with those incidents. But in future, what we might get, that if we have a different perspective, that the suffering is given to us for our transformation. See, why did we all come to this satsang? Why did we all come to these, listening to these talks or to Guruji? If we were very happy, very comfortable in life, would we have learned something, listened to something like this?
No, madam. Definitely no.
Definitely not. With some difficulty, with some suffering, we will have come here. Without which we cannot stick on to this. Suffering will help us to get detached from our life, which we are clinging on to.
Yes.
So, what is the goal of any human being? It is
The self-realization.
Self-realization. That is, Jivatma, Paramatma has to become one. So,
Yeah.
when we are very happy staying like this in the same way, will we ever leave our attachments?
No.
Only sufferings can help us to come out of that. So, ultimate goal of any human being is self-realization. So, suffering will help us to go nearer towards self-realization.
Yes,
So,
madam.
that is the blessing that we have got. Suffering is the blessing.
Man, does it mean if you have more sufferings, you'll get more near to self-realization, madam? If we experience more sufferings, we will be more nearer to self-realization.
Yes, yes. Because one thing is, what will happen when we suffer too much? Lots of suffering is there. What will happen to us actually?
What they say Kannada, ದೇಹ ಮನಸ್ಸು ಎಲ್ಲ ಬೆಂಡ್ ಆಗೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದೆ. ಯಾವ್ದಕ್ಕೂ ನಾವು ಇದೇ ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ, ಸ್ಪಂದನೆನೆ ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ. ಇಫ್ ಇಟ್ ಕಮ್ಸ್ ಲೆಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಕಮ್, ಇಫ್ ಇಟ್ ಗೋಸ್ ಲೆಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಗೋ. ಆ ಒಂದು ಆಟಿಟ್ಯೂಡ್ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದೆ.
So what has happened actually? ಬೇಸತ್ತೋಗಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಯು ಸೆಡ್, ಸ್ಪಂದಿಸೋದೇ ಇಲ್ಲ ಯಾವುದಕ್ಕೂ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಇಟ್ ದಟ್ ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪನ್ಡ್? One more suffering has come. What will happen then?
We forget the old suffering.
Okay. But how do you accept that? What the difference between the first suffering and the current suffering?
We will be more strong, and in a positive way we try to fight it.
Why?
Because of this Atma Gnana, we'll get some inner strength. We don't know how it works, but we get that inner strength.
And one more main thing that would have happened is the ego will have reduced a lot.
Yes.
Correct? So everything, nanu, nandu, nanage, nandu idu, nammavru, nan makklu, all this will be there, but intensity will have come down. So the attachment, the bonding, all those, or the association of me with each of the circumstances will be very high. After multiple sufferings, what happens is the association can be dropped off and we can look at that as witness, sakshi.
Yeah.
Okay, one more suffering, let it come and let it go. Okay, let me suffer. I'm ready to suffer. This is what will happen. Because why should I suffer? The first suffering, why should I alone suffer when everybody else is not suffering? That is the first thing that we get. Why me? So suffering is something if we change the perspective, of course, suffering is not very easy to undergo. But with a different perspective, we can accept that. We will have to accept whether we want it or not. We will have to undergo suffering. But when we have this Atmagnana, that suffering comes to the body. I am the self. Though I don't realize, I still feel that knowledge-wise, I am the self. Nothing can happen to the self. When you think from that perspective, let this body or the mind, let it suffer. But we don't even think of that. That suffering doesn't attach to us at all. Okay, this has happened. I am accepting it. So you started with this only. You will be accepting it and surrendering.
Yes.
Correct? So we came back to the same thing. So that means in that process of a number of sufferings, our ego will have dropped. So that means it says for self-realization, ego should be 0.
Yeah.
So suffering reduces our ego. So surrendering means what? Ego 0.
Yeah.
Correct. So I am not responsible. I don't take ownership of anything. You are responsible for it.
Yes.
So that is how we can accept our life as it comes. So that is why suffering helps us to go near self-realization. Bharti ji, do you have anything to add or any clarification? Maybe I don't know how much you are getting, but still anything that you can add or comment or?
No, I don't have anything to add. I'm still in the learning phase.
Yes. No, just to get to know that because we are discussing a little faster, maybe because we have been doing this more than a year. So that's how this discussion can go
Only
like
thing,
this.
what I can tell is surrender everything to Him. That's it.
Yes.
Nothing is ours.
True.
Correct? Is it correct?
Yes, absolutely correct. Surrendering is what has to come from within and 100%. There are levels of surrendering, right? It depends on how we surrender. For each situation, we surrender in a different way.
Yeah.
So ultimately, how it is, how we are taking the situation, are we detached to that? Are we attached to that? How we are taking the perspective with which we take that, it depends on, they say it is proportional to our suffering. So we are attached to that situation without surrendering, the intensity of suffering is more. We are detached and we are just observing what is happening to us. We are not getting attached there. Our emotions are not wavering. Then we are surrendering and accepting, ready acceptance.
Okay.
So we will have a brief, maybe the summary of all the talks that has already happened. I will just talk to you later so that we'll have some arrangement done for that. Okay.
Okay, madam. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. How do you explain, Sudhaji? Explain emotions like anger and happiness.
So these are what is experienced by the subtle body, okay, through its instrument, which is the gross body. So you can be sad if something that your gross body in its interaction with the world is experiencing something negative, then the subtle body experiences sadness. If everything is going your way, you're healthy, you're prosperous, you're successful, then the subtle body because everything is fine for its instrument, the gross body, it feels happy. So that's how you can explain these emotions.
But will it be constant?
Never. It's always changing.
So,
Happiness is followed by sorrow, sorrow is followed by happiness. So these things go on in a cyclic way. So the subtle body is never experiencing the same thing for a long time. It can be very quickly changing from one state of experience to another.
Say, for example, we are continuously in suffering. Does that happen actually? Always. Say, if at all I am 30 years now, 30 years also complete suffering. Will it ever happen like that?
No.
Daishiji?
Sufferings may be there, madam, but it all depends on how, it all depends on the attitude you show towards the sufferings. Of course, if you have this Atma-Gnana, you will try to overcome it, and we don't think it is suffering at all. If it is a common people, for a common people's knowledge, it is suffering only, and they suffer it still more. Because
but even a common person without this gnana, will they suffer always? Say 30 years means 30 years also continuous suffering will that person face?
It's cyclic. That is what Prabhuji says, no? That suffering is always followed by happiness. Happiness is always followed by suffering. Now, what is that span of time? No one can tell. Like you said, it might be 30 years. Actually, in some people's life, they do, like go through so many difficulties, maybe property, relationships because of the property loss. They go through prolonged periods of, one problem being with them for 30 years. But in those 30 years, they will have many moments when they're happy. They will have many moments when they're, at peace with the situation. So it's not like unending suffering. It will always be broken in the middle with some pieces of happiness. And again, even if it is 30 years of block of suffering, it will change and there will be happiness after that. It's always cyclic. Every experience.
Yes.
Very emotional.
As you rightly pointed out, it is not the time duration. So the way I am associated with the problem, as Jaishiji also said, how I associate with problem. So if I have no gnana of any maybe detachment, then I feel that I'm always in suffering. Because I remember first suffering, I connect the second suffering to that, then the third, then the fourth, all are collectively taken up as I have so many sufferings. But at this particular moment, what is the suffering I have? I am bringing all the past sufferings at this moment. So at the age of 20, I had a big accident. At the age of 10, my parent died. And at the age of 25, I lost my job. All this collectively, if I put, I am always suffering. But wasn't there number of days wherein I was okay and happy also?
There was.
So, how we stick on to the suffering so much and how we easily forget the happy moments. It is like sufferings are like Velcro. You will have to pull it to remove. But this happiness is like Teflon coated tawa is there now. The dosa comes out very smoothly. We forget very easily. So that Velcro is always sticking on to suffering, and very tight it is. But this Teflon coated, it easily comes out. we easily forget about the happiness. Because we stick on to suffering, we feel that we are undergoing it for a long period of time. So, as Guruji has said, it is happiness, unhappiness, happiness, unhappiness. It comes one after the other. It is a cycle. Because the divine doesn't want to leave us here. He wants to be dragging us towards self-realization. He wants to have us with him. So that is why this happens. Suffering is...
Madam, one question. Subtle body is formed due to good karma. That was what we discussed earlier, no? When we have done good karma, why should we suffer? Suffering
see, this body brings in the punya and the papa. Result, see, subtle body means, see, for a situation, you behave in a different way, I behave in a different way. It is because of my subtle body. That means the experience or the collection of all the lifetimes, how many ever lifetimes I would have undergone, whatever is the experience, the gunas will have come into me. Rajoguna, Tamoguna, Sattva-guna. So that varies in each person. It may be brother, sister, sister, sister. Each of us will be different.
Yeah.
Mother, daughter, mother, son. Those same family will be different. Why is that so? The gunas will be different. What we carry, we would have done some punya, some papa, everything. So this subtle body is dependent on punya, means what is that good that we have done? That is how we are. That is how we can see that. Why have we come to this satsang? We have done some more punya. That is how we have been dragged into this. Correct. So, punya of many lifetimes. Otherwise, see, there are many people, you know, so many people around us, they are not at all interested. Even if we want to say something, they will not listen. Why is that? The subtle body doesn't contain that punya to listen to Atmagnana. At least we are blessed.
Kantiji, one point that I want to just mention here. Prabhuji, while talking about the subtle body at the beginning of the talk itself, he says that we go through a long period of evolution. That is, he said, from mineral kingdom to plant, from plant to animal, then we come to human. And in the process of this evolution, these bodies are developed. So a subtle body is actually something that we develop in the process of evolution. But what Prabhuji particularly is saying, if you are lucky enough to think of, like you said, you wanted that Atmajnana, you're coming there to Prabhuji to listen to him, then that definitely means that the subtle body has refined so much. It has left all the negative gunas, and somehow it is coming into the sattvic. And that is the punya, because of which you are now able to listen to the Atmajnana, like you're saying. But actually, subtle body is something that we develop in evolution while going through that entire process. Prabhuji didn't elaborate on that point much.
Yes.
He mentioned it and went off to the next one.
Yes. See, we have number of human lifetimes only.
Yeah, reincarnations are millions.
Okay, so millions of births of human beings only, as human beings.
Mentioned
behind that, he has told how we would have been insects or aquatic animals or plants or maybe rocks, everything. So that evolution is the bigger scale that he has told. But here, when we have come to this and we are getting that jnana from a realized master, that means to say that the number of lifetimes that we have already passed through as human beings or animals or insects, who knows? In Ramana Maharshi's ashram, the cow, the monkey, and the dog, they were all self-realized. It need not be that it is only the human form you will have to take to get the moksha. It can be in animal form also. So Lakshmi, the cow, that got realized through Ramana Maharshi. So she was liberated. So it is the life that is taken. Millions of lifetimes means it may be human form, it may not be human form. So evolution, as you rightly said, evolution from the primitive format to this stage where we are able to gain some gnana. That is what is the maybe outline of what subtle body is. So we have the collection from that, and that is how we have got the punya, and maybe the papa punya, everything that neutraling of all those will have happened, and now this is the blessing and the grace that we are getting by accumulating the punya. So that is how we are in contact with a Sadguru. Otherwise, it wouldn't have been possible. It is 9:30. Can we wind it up?
Yeah.
And we have one or two questions left. That is Nitya Viveka, that we have done it in Viveka also. But still we can do that in the next class and then go on to the next video. So we'll end this with closing prayer. Asatoma sadgamaya tamasoma jyotirgamaya mrityorma amrutangamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamuduchyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Nanu nanembudu nanalla ideha manabuddhi nanalla Sachidanandatma Shiva Nanu Nani Shivoham Shivoham Shivoham. Atmadarshanam Brahmadarshanam Brahmadarshanam Satyadarshanam. Antarjyotihi Bahirjyotihi Pratyakjyotihi Paratpara Jyotireva Jyotihi Swayam Jyotihi Atma Jyotihi Shivosmyaham. Lokaah Samastaah Sukhino Bhavantu. Lokaah Samastaah Sukhino Bhavantu. Lokaah Samastaah Sukhino Bhavantu. Harihi Om Tat Sat. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.